Beep, boop, beep, boop, 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 boop. It's man, it's machine, it's Bradley Stalder, Ryan Reynolds back at it with you for a Thursday edition of Man vs. Machine. My schedule was just messed up this week, Ryan, so I appreciate your flexibility for bringing Man vs. Machine to the Thursday slate just for this week.
I try to be a gentleman, pal. We all have stuff that comes up.
Well, today we're going to do a live draft in the Best Ball Mania streets. That's right. Best Ball Mania live draft. Ryan Reynolds, Bradley Stalder tag teaming on a team. So we're going to hop in the lobby here soon. But Ryan, this is a $25 entry on Underdog Fantasy, and this is their flagship. Tournament. The big time winning. There have been millions and millions of dollars won in these tournaments in previous years. Lots of strategy going to the best ball streets. Dan Williamson and I focus just on best ball in the Stack Hunters podcast, but Man vs. Machine, we go all over the place. We do redraft, we do best ball, we talk dynasty, we talk real NFL, everything in between. Ryan, this is great getting into the Underdog streets with you.
Yeah, same, man. Like I've max entered Best Ball Mania a couple times. I got a plant, I got a t-shirt. One thing though, I think we got to make a condition for this draft, and that is this has to be a Caleb Williams team. Like we have to force that. We have to force a Caleb Williams team.
I'm here for the Caleb Williams force. Yeah. This is going to be great. We need to be in on Caleb Williams. Ryan and I have been telling you all off season be drafting Caleb Williams. And what did the Chicago Bears do in the draft? We thought that they were already in good shape, beefed up the offensive line. You had Roman Dunze, you have Cole Kmet, you have DJ Moore, and they add some more pieces to the offense, Ryan. Like, it's hard to see a pathway for Caleb Williams to fail outside of injury.
Yeah, injury or like, his skill set just doesn't translate, which I don't think is going to be a problem. Like we get the huge coaching upgrade, offensive line stability. Like it's just, I told you this a couple of weeks ago. Like I intend to have a Caleb Williams MVP ticket. I'm just hoping to get a better price than we can currently get him at.
All right. Well, we will throw it up here on the stage for the Best Ball Mania 6. So $25 entry, 672,000 entrants. That's right. It's only 4.6% filled. So there's still a lot to discuss, Ryan, in terms of, some shifting, some ADP values. The market has not fully settled yet from the NFL draft just a couple weeks ago. There have been some trades and roster movements since. We'll get into George Pickens and the Dallas Cowboys, Pittsburgh Steelers, all of that here in just a bit. But do you approach early season Best Ball Mania different than maybe near the start of August, September, or end of August, near the tail end of the drafting season?
Yeah, I'm an early drafter. I'm a team early drafter. I'm a player analysis guy. So I actually take the day off after the schedule release to I literally, spend a tremendous amount of time just plugging away teams. The first reason is, like, for instance, with Caleb Williams, like I want to get as much of him as I can early in case he gets steamed. And then, right before August, early August is another good time. And then I'll do like 5% of my drafts late. That's how I try to manage things.
5% late, get the value. Right now, it's only 5% filled. Oh, $2 million to first, $1 million a second, slightly more than $500,000 a third. I don't know why there's an extra $4,000 there, but maybe there's some reason why Underdog has it that way. Still a pretty clean breakdown the rest of the way. So lots of fun getting into the Best Ball Mania streets. Do you want 20 seconds or 30 seconds, Ryan?
I think 30 is better for going on stream.
Sure.
In my personal life, 20 is probably going to be where I do the most of them.
20 seconds, I'm able to get a draft done like during lunch.
Yeah. Then again, the competition might be stiffer in those. Like you might only get like animals doing the 20-second rooms.
or we call them degenerates here, Ryan.
little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Oh, that's great. All right. Let's hop into the lobby, see how we're doing. Confirm, ready to roll. Okay, I don't care about that. All right, we are filled with us and one other. So we're waiting for 10 people. Hop on into the Underdog Streets. The nice thing about Underdog Fantasy is that the lobbies fill very quickly. This is, normally not a big wait time for, this particular tournament. Looking at where the ADPs are, Ryan, Jamar Chase clearly the 101 based on the ADP so far, followed by Saquon, Justin Jefferson, Bijan Robinson, CD Lamb, round up the top 5. Is that the right order for the top 5?
I think the top 4, I think I'm fine with. I'd give a little pushback on CeeDee Lamb. My guy Jordan Vanek told me that he thinks Nico Collins is going to be the top receiver this year. So I will probably be heavier on Nico Collins than I will CeeDee Lamb. So top 4 spots I'm fine with. The 5, I think the 5 is very debatable.
Yeah, let me pull up the projections here. My best ball value rating projections are on a half PPR scale, which is what Underdog Fantasy is scoring wise. That's a little different than your DraftKings or Drafters or other platforms. This is half PPR. So let's see. Best ball value rating for our top players. I have it in the best ball value rating projections. Jefferson, Barkley, Chase, Jaden Daniels, Nico Collins are my top 5.
Wow, Jaden Daniels, holy moly.
I know.
I think I'm with you. I'm going to take Jefferson more than Barkley. I don't want to be completely out on Barkley, but I think that the total touch count is 480, including the playoffs. So generally speaking, those are the sort of guys where I'm going to be overweight on the handcuff, but I also don't want to be, drawn dead on them either. So we'll see how I manage that.
Yeah, I have Barkley projected for 303 rush attempts, 38 receptions. So 340 touches, again, is just animal workload level. 10% target share, 61% rush share. The other thing about the Eagles is that they run so much, Ryan. They are one of the highest rate rush rate. Was it lowest pass rate over expectation?
Yeah, I believe that without a second thought.
Yeah, so those are my top 5. Jaden Daniels gets there partly because of, actually significantly because of the rushing. I have him at a 28% rush share, 117 rush attempts, like between 3 and 4 rushing touchdowns, 700 rushing yards. I am very high on Daniels. I took in my redraft league, though, last night. It was a $350 entry on the FFPC, which is also full PPR. I took Lamar over Jaden Daniels. And part of me is like the projections say, yes, Jaden Daniels is higher, but Lamar, we've seen 2 MVP seasons. He gets it done in the passing game. And Jaden Daniels relies much more on the rushing, and that could lead to injuries. So, I only took one quarterback, and it was Lamar, and I view that as a safer play based on where those fantasy points are coming from, because Lamar has turned into more of a pocket passing quarterback over the last couple of years.
True. You can basically bank him for an MVP caliber season. I see it that way too. And the other thing too is Washington, from a talent perspective, is not that good. And teams have, a year of film on their coaching staff on Daniels. So I think he's going to be fine, but I'm going to take Lamar ahead of him too.
Yeah, I'm happy. That's where like the difference is in terms of the rank versus versus projection. And I think that that's something that we can dirty ourselves in the spreadsheets all night, but when it comes to like dirt and hand in the dirt type of rankings, that's where this type of show is valuable, where I'll bring the projections, I'll give my statistics, spit it out, and then Ryan is like, well, actually, let's go with Lamar. And I agree with him. not much of a debate, even though the numbers are differently indicating. A player, go for it.
I think it's also a case like if you're going to draft volume, if you're doing one draft, I think you go with your guy in this situation. If you project Daniels higher, that's who you're targeting, that's who you're taking. But if you're doing volume, like again, you don't want to be, you want to at least be even on Lamar Jackson, ideally.
Yeah, I don't want to miss out on MVP caliber player. That's foolish.
And like especially like if they play the Bengals during the fantasy playoffs, like it's I'm with you all around.
You love to see it. You love to see it. A player we've been getting a lot of positive news about lately, Ryan, and he's not in the first round, but he might get there or close to it if we hear lots of good news. Rashee Rice looks like he's progressing very well from his injury, and also looks like he may avoid some significant fallout from last offseason's concerns.
How to phrase that, huh? Extracurricular activities.
Yes. So we might have concerns, I had concerns about Rashee Rice maybe just a couple months ago, but now I'm projecting him for 14 games. If he plays 14 games, I'm in on a 24% target share in a Patrick Mahomes offense that like Rice would thrive in. He's close to the line of scrimmage. He eats into Travis Kelce. This is why I'm moving Kelce down more in my ranks as I get good news for Rice, bad news for Kelce. That's how I'm approaching it.
Yeah, agreed. What's Kelce going to be 34 years old this year? He's already showed signs of slowing down. If we knew that Rice was going to play the whole season, he'd be like a pretty good mid-range long shot bet to lead the league in receptions. And like that's how I kind of look at these things. So his upside's considerable, and even if he misses time, he's going to be back for money-making season.
Right. He's going to be healthy. He's going to be ready, and that offense has leaned heavily on him when he's been out there. I don't think that the Chiefs look to replace Kelce 1-for-1 with the tight end position. I think it would turn into Rashee Rice replacing Travis Kelce.
Yeah, on that roster, no one else is really suited for that role. And again, like he's before he got injured, just massive volume, and a lot of it was on slants, and that's sustainable. Yeah, I mean, again, it's the uncertainty. And if you're playing in a tournament, I think there's always an advantage in embracing uncertainty. Like most of these guys get suspended for less than people bake into things. So, I'm willing to lose on Rashee Rice ultimately. It's funny. Whenever you do a stream for one of these things is when the lobby doesn't click. That's just how these things happen. We've been sitting waiting for 9 people for 12 minutes now. Oof. So maybe we won't do a best Ball Mania draft. Maybe we won't.
Maybe we peace out and find a different draft. That is okay. We had a good run at it right there. The puppy, we could go a $5 puppy, 30 seconds. Sure. That's fine. Yeah. There we go. We'll see if that works. Maybe Jamie can jump in. It looks like we're just waiting for 2 people. So shout out Jamie. We're in the puppy streets now.
Yeah. In my experience, when the puppy's live, Best Ball Mania tends to slow down. So that makes sense. I didn't know there was a puppy that was live.
That is okay. We're waiting for one more person, and then we'll get this underway. So still, it's Jamar Chase, Barkley, Jefferson, Robinson, Lamb, same ADP in both. Look, I agree with you that Lamb probably shouldn't be there, but in a wide receiver heavy draft, it's hard to pass up like CD Lamb as the wide receiver 3, even though I have him as my wide receiver 6. So it goes Jefferson, Chase, Collins. I'm still very high in T. Higgins, Lad McConkey, and then CD Lamb.
Well, I like that. Lad McConkey's fascinating. That one I don't have pushback on. My top 3 would be Chase, Jefferson, Collins. Then I think I might lean Puka and then Lamb. But that's where I'd be splitting hairs is Lamb and Puka, where I would take Lamb over Puka just to have exposure to him. But I think Pickens hurts Lamb a little bit. I think Pickens is great news for Dak Prescott, but I do think he could hurt Lamb a little.
All right. We are filled, and we have the 111, which I don't hate. There's some nice play, like Nico Collins is oftentimes there. You can get Christian McCaffrey there. Yeah. I don't mind it. I don't mind it this year because it's either you'll get a good player or some value will fall to you at that spot.
Yeah. Now, traditionally, like long ago when zero running back was not even like a named thing, I loved the turn because you get like the two best receivers in the league. Now usually the cutoff is around 10, where like you want that premium player, but we can make anything work. How many drafts a year do you do, would you say?
Last year I did over 700.
Yeah, that's freaking crazy. I do between 200 and 500 every year, which is also like, we belong in jail for doing these kind of things, but
I'm just working on the share screen, making sure that we are, as the kiddos say, G2G, do. All right. I actually asked the students, I'm like, do you say G2G anymore? And they said, no, we don't say that anymore. So old man.
That stuff changes in a heartbeat.
It does. It does. Let's see if we can change that maybe. All right, share this tab instead. There we go. All right, it fits. Look at that. We figured it out. And just resizing. Good enough. Good enough. All right,
I don't think I've ever drafted off that, but I like it. We
are in the 11 spot. We see Jamar Chase, Saquon Barkley go off. No surprises. No surprises. We just, when you enter these types of drafts, it's not that you don't want surprises. You just don't want like absurdity. So you just don't want your draft getting thrown out because someone was drafting.
Taking Patrick Mahomes with the third pick, or worse, like taking like Bryce Young with the third pick. It's probably what actually gets your draft thrown out.
This is not one of those like rookie draft scenarios, like.
Yeah.
I'm a Bama homer. Okay, well, still, like you can get Bryce Young later if he's your guy. Ryan and I do have an agreement to take Caleb Williams number 1 overall, so we're just going to put him in the queue.
Yeah. I mean, like, let's do a proactive, like, let's try to
go out of our way
with Moore or Odunze, and
we'll have some fun with this.
We can take them around early. I don't know if we need to take any of these guys in the first round, though.
No.
I don't think we need to murder your entry here out of the gate.
I'm just donating $5 to Underdog. You're welcome. But realistically, I see DJ Moore lower. Like I had to move him down, but he's still, if I look at my wide receivers, like who's still available there, DJ Moore is still my wide receiver 12 in projection. I know that there's been a lot of rumblings lately as, we are on the clock.
Yeah, they just took neighbors. I don't know who else is in the cluster. I can't see it.
It's Nico Collins. Nico Collins is the pick here.
Let's do that. Yeah, let's do it.
We love some Nico here. So
there's a world where we could get Nico Collins and Malik Neighbors in some of these drafts if like a couple people slide. That's something I'm going to try to make happen over the next few weeks.
So still on available. So we're on the clock. Derrick Henry, Brock Bowers, Drake London, AJ Brown, Achane, McConkey. I lean McConkey.
Yeah, we can go London. McConkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want Drake London.
No. Let's go. Let's have some fun. We got some wide receiver love. Nico Collins, Lad McConkey, baby. Let's go. You love to see it.
Would you say you like McConkey more in full PPR?
Let me look. McConkey, I have at 102 projected receptions, which would put him at wide receiver 6 in terms of total receptions. And he's my wide receiver 3 in terms of projected yards. So I think he's a great pick in the round 2.
Yeah.
I don't see a pathway for him to fail.
No.
It's going to be either Quentin Johnson or Trey Harris. It's not going to be both of them pushing McConkey out. Like, that's how I see it. McConkey is the stable, like, first block that the offense is built around, and then the other pieces are figuring themselves out. Like, we don't know who the tight end is. We don't know who. We don't know how much Amarian Hampton or Najee Harris are going to be involved in the passing game. So that's why, like, McConkey's the guy, I think, at that 1-2 turn.
Yeah, I'm good with it. You know, the way I look at it too, from like, I think he's safe too because his skill set's very similar to Keenan Allen's. So, and Keenan Allen was a super producer with Herbert. So I don't think last year was an accident at all. I think he's actually pretty safe. He's kind of like, I think viewing him the same as Amon St. Brown over the last few years is fair too. You know, like similar players.
Yes, I think that's a good fantasy comp for McConkey, Amon Ra, and getting him at that 1-2 turn when you're probably getting, a mid round 1 value. That's the type of thing, is you just don't want to lose out in your round 2. And that's typically what's been difficult for fantasy managers to get right, is like that 2-3 turn. Like, is it T. Higgins? Is it Rashee Rice? Is it Tyreek Hill? Is it Garrett Wilson, JSN? Is it Marvin Harrison? Is it Terry McLaurin this year? Like, I think the bust rates for those types of wide receivers are pretty high.
Yeah.
When compared to like I think Drake London is the real cutoff here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he has a path to failure. I mean, Penix is a bit of an unknown still. Yeah. I'm
more confident with the target share with London, but the
yeah.
touchdowns, the total offense, that could be a question. Last year, London had a 29% target share, and I'm not confident that Kyle Pitts can make the jump. Darnell Mooney is like maybe just a little bit more than a guy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's actually a good guy to bring up. I think the chance of him regressing from last year, like, very, very high. So
Yes.
he fits a certain role. He should probably not be a volume hound, though. You know?
Like, there were only 2 big games for Darnell Mooney, and they both happened against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. That's actually sharp too. Yeah.
Like, I remember it was early in the season, and I had ranked Mooney low against Tampa, and I lost, and I was like, oh, crud. And then I came back and I said, oh, you know who you should start this week against Tampa? Darnell Mooney. And who hit? It's Darnell Mooney, baby. It was a nice little matchup win. We're coming up here on a couple picks, Ryan. A few players still available: Kyron Williams, Devontae Adams, of course, the early quarterbacks: Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Mike Evans, Breece Hall. Any of those guys sticking out to you?
We definitely should not take a quarterback with this team because, one, we're going to take Caleb Williams, and two, we have like 2 pretty solid stacks that we can get in the mid rounds.
Right.
I think out of that group, I think I'd probably lean Breece Hall. Actually, it's tough because I can't see it, but I think I lean Breece Hall out of that
Travis
group.
Hunter just went off at 33 overall.
Yeah, that's high for me. But it's probably not unreasonable. Honestly, like, that dude has a path to paying off there.
All right, we're gonna go Breece Hall. I like the Breece Hall call.
Yeah.
The pathway for Breece Hall to be the running back 1 overall still exists.
Yeah. I don't think that's out of the question either. You know, they're going to be even
Like,
more run centric this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the Breece Hall pick. We can come back with a Mike Evans, a Ted McMillan. Oh, we want to take DJ Moore here. DJ Moore is the pick.
100%.
If we don't get sniped. All right. We are on the
Also,
clock.
also for those at home, like you should not go in a draft. Like I'm taking Caleb Williams in this draft, really ever, but we're doing it because we're doing a show and we're both. He's even higher on him than me, which I didn't think anyone was going to be higher on him.
Yeah, let's go. Let me pull it up. I'll pull up the rankings. I'll tell the people. They all want to know how high Bradley is on Caleb Williams. And Caleb is post draft. Caleb Williams is my quarterback 4 behind Jaden Daniels, Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, that's aggressive. The truth is, though, like, wouldn't surprise me at all if that's where he finished. Like, I think that's kind of like in the bucket I have him as finishing as a top 5 quarterback, like borderline MVP candidate. So I'm with you. I am. I love the guy.
If he's MVP, I know that now there's more pieces, but DJ Moore has crushed in the past, and he's been the alpha. Yeah. It would take Rome Odunze, and I know that there's a lot of narrative surrounding Odunze and the new wide receiver coach Antoine Rendell L in Chicago, saying that Rome Odunze was our wide receiver 1 in the class of last year. Like, sure, but also, does Caleb have the chemistry with Rome? I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's good. I don't think he's a great player. He's, contested catch guy. He's not a big separator. I 1 for 1, like for this year, I'd rather have more. So I'd be surprised if Odunze outperformed more on a per game basis. I'd be surprised.
Yeah. I also see like Luther Burden having a slow start and maybe picking up near the end.
Yeah,
that's the pathway. But I don't think Luther Burden is one of those consistent producers. But in the best ball tournament, like I'm avoiding Burden in redraft unless I get a value.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I'm willing to take shots on Burden in these best ball drafts, because if we're high on the Chicago offense, Ben Johnson offense, improved offensive line, the former number 1 overall pick, Caleb Williams, generational talent. You've got really strong pieces in DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, Colson Loveland, Cole Kmet, Luther Burden. DeAndre Swift survived this draft, Ryan, and I know there were some people that I shared my rankings with who were surprised that DeAndre Swift was so high, and now that's looking like a real sharp move.
Sure. No, I mean, he's a good player. And again, it's a good situation where the one thing I'll say is this. I think and we mentioned this on the rookie show, the Bears taking Loveland ahead of Warren signals that they're planning on throwing the ball more than they did in Detroit. So still though, he's in an excellent position. And you're right. It's your strong stance paid off big time there.
Well, someone available at this turn might be Rome Odunze. What's your philosophy, Ryan, of taking multiple wide receivers from the same team? Not just a wide receiver cornerback stack, but having multiple pass catchers from the same team stacked together.
Yeah, I'm good with it, especially in this situation where he'd be our 4th. And if we're going to literally go out of our way to make this a Caleb Williams team, I'm good with it. I did a lot of Burrow, Higgins, Chase last year as an example. So I'm not going to force it, but I'm not allergic to it, especially when, when we're guys like us who draft at pretty considerable volume. If you're doing one team, I think what you're basically saying is, one of these guys is going to be a top 5 receiver, then another one's going to be top 10, and the quarterback's at least going to finish in the top 3 in the MVP race. So just that's, and one of the ways I draft, I don't know if you do this, but like my drafts tell a story essentially. So if Odunze is there, I'm good with him for our team.
All right. Very good. Rome Odunze, welcome to the Man vs. Machine team. We've got a few other players that I think we go running back this next round. We've got Travion Henderson, Kenneth Walker, Alvin Kamara in the queue.
I think I lean Kenneth Walker for me.
Yeah, if he's available.
Yeah.
I'm also big on Ken Walker. Only 573 rushing yards last year, but 7 rushing touchdowns and 46 receptions.
Oh yeah, it's actually good for him.
Yeah, it was a career high. All right, we're going Ken Walker.
Yeah, no, I like what we have going on here.
Oh, this feels really good, right? This is falling into our laps.
I think our running backs do have some chance of having pretty limited, passing game, because especially with Hall, with Aaron Rodgers, Hall could technically lead running backs in receptions, but with Justin Fields, I think that's kind of a big ding there. But still, man, like we have two guys that aren't drawn dead at the rushing title, and especially when you're drafting a receiver heavy team, I'm real good with that.
Yes. Well,
so someone else likes Baker Mayfield as much as you. I see.
Baker is my quarterback 5, and there was no reason to move off of that ranking after Emeka Egbuka was drafted by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Ryan.
There, if anything, that definitely helped.
Let's go. You love to see it. You love to see it. Ryan's cringing right now.
No. I literally may not have any of him if that's where he's going. Literally may have zero.
No. Yeah, no. Yikes. Who was that took him? MS and Robert. Let's look and just see where the ADP is. His ADP. His ADP is 88 though.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, well, he might. But Godwin went off. Oh, he was probably afraid that the Godwin guy would come back at pick 81 and take him. Maybe.
True.
It's possible. It's possible.
Making sure you get your stack too, like we're gonna do with Caleb Williams. Well, someone's definitely gonna snipe him on us now because we have both of them. So
absolutely,
that's definitely happening.
Well, in the interim, we're gonna share a little bit about Fast Draft Fantasy. The Origins tournament, Origins Omega, is now available.
Rookie. It's all about rookie talk in fantasy football right now. So why not go use all that knowledge to do something other than a mock draft? Chris Jimino won $8,000 with just 2 teams last year, and each draft took 5 minutes. That's pretty good ROI. You can start doing rookie drafts for money today on Fast Draft. The Origins tournament is live. It is the place to go and monetize your knowledge of rookies and use your favorite player profiler host promo code for a $25 deposit match. Now let's go start drafting faster.
All right, draft on Fast Draft Fantasy. You draft so fast. And at the turn, the nice thing is that you can draft fast as well, because then you just click and you wait one pick and then you click again and it's feeling pretty good. Do you want to take Caleb with that first pick in round 7 or on the comeback on 8?
That guy doesn't have a bear, so like let's roll the dice, I think, and wait on the comeback.
Oh yeah, let's wait. He already has a quarterback. We're not gonna.
I mean, if he takes Baker Mayfield and Caleb Williams, which maybe he will. He took Baker Mayfield early enough where I'm concerned that maybe he will, but we'll see what happens.
we will see what happens. There's we might be looking at some. What are your thoughts on like DeAndre Swift and coming back around and taking?
Caleb? I don't hate it, especially since Swift's their third running back, and it gives us a thing where if the passing offense fails, Swift probably doesn't. So I'm fine with that. I don't mind that at all.
Or Luther Burden goes off at 89. So it's Swift, Burden, and Williams. We will probably pick 2 of the 3. Do you have a preference?
Swift and Williams would be my preference. I think right now is a little early for Burden.
Got it.
And again, like I'm with you. I think he can pay off late. His skill set's like Amon-Ra's, so I think he could, but I definitely don't want to pay the premium on him this early.
Yeah, not at this point. Not at this point. DeAndre Swift is going to be our selection if we don't get sniped here. There we go. DeAndre Swift is going to be our third running back. Nice little ADP value, pick 83, ADP 81.9. We'll take that.
You're a Packers fan too, so this is
Look,
to be boiling your blood a little bit. No, I know, I get it. Trust me, my fandom has taken a hit since I started working in sports media. But my loyalty is primarily my bank account. But
yeah.
yeah.
Jordan Love is very low in my projections this year. So we're gonna go with Caleb at this spot. He's not gonna probably come back around to us. Maybe he would, but we're not messing around. We're gonna take Caleb with this pick.
Our team makes no sense if we don't have Caleb Williams now. It's almost like a disaster if we don't get him at this point, since we're literally betting on the Bears to be like a top 5 offense with what we're doing here. Which, you know, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't think that's off the table at all.
Nope. Not off the table at all.
I like what we have.
Yeah, it's the
I wish this was a Millie Maker team now.
I'm happy with the structure. I'm happy with the players.
Yeah.
It's definitely a nice blend of stacking, of player takes, of structure. So far, so good, Ryan. So far, so good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually a good point that you make, because I'm definitely a player takes guy, and I think you are too. Like you have aggressive rankings, especially for a data guy. Like you stand on islands sometimes, which is one of the reasons I like you. That's where you can arrive on a play that can make a difference for you. I'm the same way. Like I'm not afraid of being wrong, but I'm also very much a roster construction guy. Like Justin Herzig, I'd say I've heard him say before that his biggest edge is roster construction, and like I'm he's a better best ball player than I am, but obviously, but I feel the same way. I always have like a very regimented build, and we're on a good track here.
Yes, this is how we want to build it. This is the right way. Like this is why we're experts in the field, Ryan. We're in not that this is like a soft room, but I think it also helps that at the turn, the guy who's at the turn is making some suboptimal value picks.
Yeah.
And that's allowing us to like have our way.
Yeah. He's definitely helping us. Like with the Caleb Williams thing, for instance, that helped us because he might have taken Swift instead of Pacheco.
Right. All right. We still see Luther Burden available coming back around. He's not going to make it to us, but it might be fun.
I think he could make it to us. I don't think he's a guy that everyone's chomping at the bit to get it, early.
Yeah, I mean, Luther Burden or Josh Downs or Jaden Higgins or Trey Harris, right? The pathway for Trey Harris to make some noise or Jaden Higgins to make some noise, I think is higher or clearer than Luther Burden.
And then we could stack him with Herbert too, get a double stack with Herbert. I think that's the direction I'm leaning.
This is the space too, where you're seeing some quarterbacks go off. We saw Caleb. We took Caleb, Patrick Mahomes, Bo Nix, Brock Purdy. Some teams are feeling a little, we got to get quarterback. Justin Fields goes off there. There's 5 picks, and then we could get Burden.
Yeah.
Although I don't think we'll get Burden.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it, but I do think we're really loading up on one offense then. And like, here's the other thing. Given our roster construction, would you rather have Burden or Loveland?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm probably not going to be.
My player take on Loveland is just low, though. I mean, I might be wrong, but
same. Yeah, I don't. There's a lot of mouths to feed in that offense. I agree.
Yeah, I don't see a pathway. Look, we got 3 teams left. He's not going to make it. There's no way. But Michael Pittman is hanging around this space. Najee Harris is hanging around here. Herbert goes off. Cripes.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, yeah, that eliminates Trey Harris, I'd say then.
Yeah, Herbert. There's no stack there either. So it's an unstacked Justin Herbert goes off.
Oh, we have McConkey, so we could still do it, but
and Luther Burden goes off. That's what I mean, though, is the guy who drafted Justin Herbert didn't have anything.
Oh, okay. One of the. Oh, got you.
We could go CJ Stroud sometime.
Okay. I mean,
Josh Downs is available. Cam Scatabo, Jaden Higgins, Trey Harris, Pittman, Najee Harris, Loveland, Jared Goff.
I would.
Rashid Shaheed.
I think I'd legit rather take Najee Harris than any of those guys.
All right, Najee. Ooh, we barely made it.
It's ugly. It's ugly, but like him as your fourth running back, like he's in a really good offense. J.K. Dobbins just had a really good year there. I think he's.
How about Rashid Shaheed?
No, just
we should go. We should go Higgins. We should definitely go Jaden Higgins.
Just the
and
quarterback.
Then get CJ
yeah, with
Stroud
Houston.
late.
Yes.
There we go. Let's not overthink this.
Yeah, let's do that.
Jaden Higgins, baby. All right, Jaden Higgins, and then I'll queue up CJ Stroud. Where is he going? 131. So we could probably wait until the next round. He probably won't go off until.
Good. No, I like that. That's good. Especially like here's the thing too. Nico Collins has had some injuries, and I think Higgins would benefit the most if Collins missed time. So I like where we're going here. I like it. I also like that we're like organically creating like an ugly tight end team, which is my preference structurally.
Yes. I'm
like
here for the ugly tight ends.
Yeah.
I do think that there's some valuable late tight ends that are just you throw them in, you'll get some points and move on.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't do most of my drafting until the schedule release just because of how these tournaments are. But where did Engram went to Washington, right? Is that where he went?
Engram went to Denver.
Denver, right. My fault. I thought I saw Washington there. So who's in Washington? Zach Ertz and
Ben Sinnott.
Sinnott, right? I don't have like a strong take on him, but like
he was a former second-round pick.
Yeah, exactly. He's the sort of guy like a last-round dart throw, especially on a team like this. Is exactly the kind of guy that I want to dabble with.
Yes, I agree. Ben Sinnott, late, or like Jawan Johnson, tight end 30. Big value there. Brenton Strange at tight end 19 finally caught up. I think Brenton Strange is my most drafted tight end in the pre-draft process. In like the pre-NFL draft.
Yeah.
Just
I remember talking about him with you.
Chips in.
That makes sense. And, with the receivers they have now, he's not going to get any like specific attention either. So again, like those are the kind of guys I'm comfortable with having him as my top tight end on otherwise solid teams.
Yes. We've seen what is this? What pick is this? 120. Michael Pittman has slipped about 16 and a half spots in ADP right now.
I'd take him on the way back.
There's concerns with the back injury and the quarterback play and blah, blah, blah. Pittman goes off there, but
the quarterback play is bad. I forgot about the back injury. But like if Daniel Jones ends up starting there, Pittman's skill sets actually like leans right into the only thing Daniel Jones does well, which is throwing slants. So I don't hate it. He's gone now, so it doesn't matter. But
right.
Yeah, I have no enthusiasm for that passing offense. Just zero. Dak Prescott in the 11th round is a good value.
Oh, I think it's a great value.
It is.
I wish that I have him as my quarterback 17. That feels a little low. 17 feels a little low.
Yeah, that sounds a little low. Where do you have Jared Goff, for instance?
Even lower. Yeah. Goff is my quarterback 21 in projections.
Yeah. That makes sense. But the point I was making is I'd rather have Dak than Goff.
Yeah. That's the. I think I've told you this, but I'll tell the people who are new listeners, I'm soft fading the Lions this year. I'm not all out. I'm not like, oh, they're avoids, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, we should definitely be moderate.
Yeah.
Moderate ourselves on the Lions.
I mean, they had a ton of defensive injuries last year, but they've had pretty good luck on offense in that regard. And I mean, they lost both coordinators, and the division's awesome,
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
What goes up must come down.
Right.
And if Caleb Williams is ascending and the Green Bay Packers are bouncing back and the Minnesota Vikings are looking better with JJ McCarthy. I mean, the Vikings got really lucky last year. Maybe they're maybe they're worse in record, but they're like a better team.
They definitely have a better roster. I mean, McCarthy, I wasn't crazy about McCarthy. I just think he landed in a wonderful, wonderful spot between coach and roster. And again, that's why I'm going to bet on him, is because of that. But I could see him out underperforming versus Sam Darnold this year. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. But also the environment where he's going to be very insulated. I don't think he implodes. I don't think there's a pathway for JJ McCarthy to be bad. Just not maybe as Pro Bowl ready. Right. And look, there we go. We get CJ Stroud is right there for us.
Cool. Yeah. I like that. You know what? Dalton Kincaid would have been interesting if he slid. I know there's injury concerns and all that, but just at this point, he would have been really nice for our team.
So a couple players on the board. We'll take quarterback off.
Yes,
off the board. Travis Etienne, Kyle Williams, David Njoku, Jake Ferguson, Jaden Blue, Tazi Spears.
Joe Flacco is the opening day quarterback. Let's take Njoku if that's what you believe.
Let's go, baby. I'm here for that.
Yeah. No, if Joe Flacco's the opening day starter, that's a steal with Njoku. Because that dude, his whole career, he peppered Dennis Pitta. Otherwise, there was a name in there. I forget which one it was. It was, I think, the running back. But yeah, for our team and Flacco, again, why is Joe Flacco starting on opening day for an NFL franchise in 2025? But that's the one area where I think you could really benefit is Njoku. In the 12th round?
Yeah.
Njoku went nuts with Flacco too.
Njoku is my tight end 5, and we got him as he's the tight end 12 right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so you like him too. All right.
Yes.
Awesome.
I have McBride, Bowers, Kelsey, Kittle ahead of Njoku. That's it.
Okay. No, we're in good shape here. ETN was the other guy. I don't know what's going to happen with him, but that's also a thing where new coach, if he stays, if he gets moved, say he went to Dallas, that would be super exciting. That was the other guy I was thinking about.
All right. We are 17 picks away. Just a recap for the people at home. We started the draft with Nico Collins, came back around with Ladd McConkey at the 202, Breece Hall in round 3, round 4, DJ Moore, round 5, the 5'11", Rome Odunze, so pick 59 overall. Came back with Kenneth Walker at 62, DeAndre Swift at the 7'11", Caleb Williams at the 8-2, so very Chicago heavy. Moore, Odunze, Swift, Caleb Williams, Najee Harris, round 9, Jaden Higgins at the 10-2, a little bit of Houston correlation, and then stacked back with CJ Stroud at the 11-11, and then David Njoku at the 12-2. Ryan, tell me where this draft went wrong for us.
Oh, I love it. I do. I've done a number of these drafts over the years, and this might be my favorite on-stream draft that I've done. I love it.
Well, what's not my favorite is that the camera has died. So we're gonna, this is delightful. We're gonna take a short promo break for Bradley to fix his camera.
Oh, the Breakout Finder is live. That's right. A lot of breakout models out there, but we started it all. The best and brightest minds coming up with the definitive breakout probabilities for running backs, wide receivers in this rookie class. It's $5 to download the wide receiver breakouts, the running back breakouts, but also proprietary stats available only on the Breakout Finder, including dynamic score for wide receivers, teammate score, level of competition. You can access the full stat database, plus many advanced metrics from Player Profiler, all there, right there on your phone, in the App Store, on Google Play. And that 2025 class is live.
We're back. I fixed it.
I'm just so the audience is aware. If that happened to me, I'd be drawn dead at fixing it on air. So be drawn dead. I'd have to call in on my phone. So nicely done, Brad. Impressive stuff.
Ryan, this is not my first rodeo. This is not my second rodeo. This is not my 17th rodeo of things going wrong in the middle of the stream, and we make it happen. We are a professional team of drafters. We do this because we're good at it. You know, Ryan, there's a book by Joseph Pieper. It's called Leisure, the Basis of Culture. And I view this as some leisure.
Useful leisure, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like how you said that. Like, I like the word degenerate. I think it's fun. I'm like so strict and not fun when I do this stuff. You know, it's like it's all business for me. Like when people are like, oh, we're watching this game, what do you want to bet on? I was like, dude, I don't bet that way, man. You know, I don't give a shit what's on TV. Like I bet when I think I have an edge, you know? And again, this is a good team. I don't really like Jaden Higgins, but I think for this team he makes sense.
Well, we've got a couple other players coming up. We are on the clock in a couple picks. Jalen Noel is available. Xavier Legette. We could hit up Brenton Strange if we really wanted to. Romeo Dobbs. Braylon Allen is the handcuff. We don't want to go handcuff there. I feel like Jalen Noel or Brenton
I'm
Strange.
fine with that. I'm fine with Noel. Let's try to do both of them.
Yeah.
So I actually think Noel could outproduce Higgins. So. You know, well, we're going super Texans Bears heavy, but yeah.
Oh, I excuse me. We still have Jalen McMillan out there, Trey Benson, Tank Bigsby. Any of those guys tickle your fancy? We should leave the Jalen McMillan guy for our friend here. He's been helping us out so much. We should help him.
Sure. Yeah. I don't need Jalen McMillan. No, let's do one of the two we talked about. Whichever one you think's more likely to make it back, take the other one. Would be my stance.
We took Noel.
And go through that other list you mentioned.
Benson, McMillan, Bigsby, Legette, Strange, Dobbs.
I actually don't mind the idea of Benson. For me, it's Benson to the tight end.
Let's go Trey Benson.
Okay.
James Conner's got to fall off, right?
Yeah, he's closer to the end than the beginning. So I like Benson. We talked about Benson like a month and a half ago that I like Benson.
The end. My only friend, the end.
Breaking out the doors a little bit, huh?
Well, Brenton Strange, also put the people are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're alone. People thought that they came here for a draft. They actually came here for a Doors jam session.
Yeah, I feel like the odds of you like singing Jimmy Morrison lines, that's not even his name, is it? I think I forgot his name. Anyway, you singing lines from Doors songs was like 10 million to 1 before we went on.
You got to break on through to the other side, Ryan. Come on.
Yeah, I'm stunned.
Look, to give a little background, it probably would be shocking to Ryan. He's gotten to know me over the course of the last year or so. And, I have some surprises up my sleeve, but
I like that there's some darkness to you. I think it's good.
My father, growing up, this is a true story. He only bought the greatest hits albums of musicians. So we had the greatest hits by Styx. We had the best of Kansas. We had the greatest hits by the Doors. And so I only knew the greatest hits. And so if I didn't know that non-greatest hits existed for the longest time, for certain artists. There were only a couple exceptions. One was Bruce Springsteen's Born to Run album, which I would argue is the greatest album.
It is.
So,
well, here, like in New Jersey, like they kick you out of the state if you don't go to a Bruce Springsteen concert. So it's a little different here. But like I go to if I go to a barbecue every weekend of the summer, Bruce Springsteen's going to be on it almost all.
Yes, as he should.
Yes.
As he should.
Yeah. It's a good guy to be your banner musician for a state.
Absolutely. I went to, so I'd say that the Bruce Springsteen concert was the second best concert I've ever been to. He played for over 3 hours.
Oh yeah.
He was just a machine. And this was 10 years ago. And he was not a young pup even 10 years ago. So he crushed.
Yeah. I've seen him a few times. I've never seen him outside of Jersey, but from what I've been told, like he does the same thing everywhere. Just 3 hours, guests sometimes.
The E Street Band.
Yeah.
I think he only took like a 15-minute break sometime in between. And I'm like, dude, you deserve it.
It's a well-earned break.
The reason why Ryan and I are joking a little bit is because we're feeling real good. We're feeling ourselves on this draft. We're feeling real good about how this is turning out. There's some nice correlations, stacking. Unfortunately, we don't know the schedule yet. The schedule is going to be dropping here in a couple weeks. I think they said the 14th of May, so next week.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So about a week from now, we will know like week 17 correlation. And unfortunately, we're flying blind. We can't as the next layer of strategy, do week 17 correlation given the tournament structure of this draft. But that's another wrinkle that as you prepare for your drafts, some things to study are week 17 correlation. We are on the clock. We've got Dylan Sampson, Mason Taylor, Devin Neal, Cade Otton, DeAndre Hopkins, Michael Wilson, DJ Giddens, J.K. Dobbins is there. Anyone strike your fancy? We got 10 seconds.
No, nothing there is really jumping out at me.
We need a wide receiver. Let's go Michael Wilson.
That's fine. That's kind of the name that I had in the lead that I didn't really like.
Structurally, I want to go Blake Corum next. It's just a
preference
pick.
Do that. Let's do that. Because the other thing too, we didn't pass on Kyle Williams before, but I was planning to, and when I do that, that means that I'm probably going to bet on their backup later if possible. So that falls into how I build teams. And plus, if he actually plays,
Blake Corum.
we think he can do well. So I love this team. How do we have 5 running backs or do we have 6? We have 6 running backs right now. I think we're all set at running back. Yeah. We could use 1 or 2 more wide receivers. We could use we only have 2 picks left. So we could use a wide receiver and a tight end. Yeah. And I think there's a world. Do we have 7 receivers?
We have 7 right now.
Okay. I think there's a world where we could take 3 tight ends depending on what's there.
Right. Well, looking at who some of the wide receivers are available, it doesn't matter at this point. You just take maybe a division rival is a best guess.
Yeah, I don't hate that idea. Yeah. Like
Dontavion Wicks.
Yeah. I don't hate that.
That might be an interesting late round addition. What's your take on Isaac Tesla, or do you not have one yet?
I don't have one yet.
I want him to be a thing.
How I do this is I start looking through every team. Like I will watch a team every day for like a month and a half, essentially, and I'll review. Sometimes I'll take days off. That's why it takes a month and a half.
Sure.
Where I will write team previews and I will rewatch film on all these guys. That's kind of how I operate right now. Where some of these dudes taken in like day 3, I don't even know who they are.
What are your thoughts on Deontay Johnson signing with the Browns?
I hate where it is.
But if we're saying that David Njoku was the pick because Joe Flacco is going to start, do you think Joe Flacco can get the ball to Deontay Johnson too?
To me, that's because Joe Flacco literally throws 5-yard passes to tight ends like it's going out of style. So I don't hate it. I don't hate it because I do think Johnson's one of the 96 best receivers on earth. So I don't hate it at all. But like, do we really want to have 2 Browns passing options on this team? Especially since we're like pretty overstacked on the Bears and Texans. That would be my one pushback. But it also depends on who's there.
Or I like the Dontavion Wicks. I think we go Wicks if he's there.
Yeah.
What about let's go Wicks if he's there. Looking at some of the tight ends, I like Juwan Johnson late. I like Chigakonkwo late. We have Dalton Schultz as a Houston tight end.
Yeah. See, like just off the top of my head, I lean towards taking the first 2 of those guys because Chig with Cam Ward, Chig's skill set's a bit similar to Arroyo. I could see Chig doing pretty well there. Who was the first guy you mentioned?
Juwan Johnson.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
I like my personal preference. Again, I can't see which receivers are there. I would lean towards taking both tight ends.
You'd rather have both tight ends?
I would lean towards it. Like the receivers you mentioned to me, like none of them really, blow my hair back.
So Juwan Johnson and Chigakonkwo.
I think that's where I'd lean. But like, read me the receivers again, real quick.
The receivers still available: Jalen Royals, Darius Slayton, Dontavion Wicks, Amari Cooper.
Let's take Darius Slayton if he's there.
Okay.
Darius
Giants bias.
No, he's a good pick with Russell Wilson because Russell Wilson can actually throw the ball downfield. They just extended him. Slayton's actually a pretty good pick for late.
There's no target competition as the wide receiver 2. It's literally Malik Neighbors is the guy, and then it's Darius Slayton.
Yeah, Slayton's actually a pretty good player. He's just been stuck with a disaster team. Yeah, I like Slayton.
Good deal. Let's go Slayton, and then do you have a preference of Okonkwo or Juwan Johnson?
No, I like them both. I don't even remember his name. The rookie quarterback that went in the second round. What's his name? Shiloh. Like if he starts, I mean, oh man. I think maybe I lean Chig.
Tyler Shuck. Yeah.
Shuck. I think maybe I lean Chig. Just because, but
let's go Chig. He's had 50 receptions each of the last 2 years. Let's go Chig.
Yeah, if you have a preference though, dude, like I'm good with both of them.
All right. Very good. Happy how it turned out. Let's recap for the people at home. We've done a great job getting this beast off this beast of a plane off the runway. Nico Collins, Lad McConkey at the 1-2, Breece Hall, DJ Moore at the 3-4, Roma Dunze, Kenneth Walker at the 5-6, DeAndre Swift, Caleb Williams at the 7-8, Najee Harris, Jaden Higgins at the 9-10, CJ Stroud, David Njoku, 11-12, Jalen Noel, Trey Benson at the 13-14, Michael Wilson, Blake Corum at the 15-16, and Darius Slayton, Chigakonkwo rounding out rounds 17 and 18. Ryan, what grade would you give this draft?
An A-, and that's because like I'm a ruthless grader. It should probably be higher than that. I love this team. I really like it. Michael Wilson's like I think why it's an A- just because I don't care about him at all. But I'd rather take Slayton than Michael Wilson.
Yeah,
personally.
yeah, for sure.
But
for sure.
But that's really the only thing, and it's like a small nitpick. But like I'm not really a toot my own horn guy. I love this team.
Oh, this turned out so good.
It is. I love it. I'm jealous that it's not on my account. I wish it was on my account.
Oh, fantastic. Great deal. Well, Ryan, it's great drafting with you, bringing the heat.
Yeah,
make sure you guys are following Ryan on X at Ryan Reynolds NFL. You can follow me on Twitter at FFStalder. Ryan Reynolds, Bradley Stalder, man versus machine. Until next time, everyone, good luck in the fantasy football streets.